What's up, guys? We have the new structure deck, Dark World. I think that's the name of it. Yeah, Dark World. So I do like Dark Worlds, but this structured deck, I mean, we're gonna be honest here, guys. I'm not sponsored by nobody. You can't pay me. You can't pay me off here. So they're probably not gonna be that good, just because their whole shtick can be countered really easily. Like, for example, now we have 𝗦𝗦𝗣𝗧 and the spell that acts like 𝗦𝗦𝗣𝗧 that I'm blanking on, that are both really expensive, by the way, guys. Holy shit, I'm gonna be making a market watch actually soon, but that's another thing. That can be those two cards can just counter this. We have Dimension Shifter can counter this. We have a whole bunch of cards that can just counter this, guys. So it sucks, but it's still a fun deck. And yeah, so we're gonna see what we got here. So we got a whole bunch of monsters. We do have a new fusion card here in the extra deck section, which you know, it's mixed bag. Yeah, let's just open it, guys. So I don't do my homework. If you want to know one thing about me, is that in high school I was a really bad kid. I used to ditch a lot. I used to not do my homework, and all my videos, there's no scripts, there's no nothing. It's just me talking shit on camera. I love that. So I don't remember what's in here is basically what I'm trying to say. I do know there is a new fusion, but that's about it. I don't know which Dark World cards are new, which ones are not new, but we're gonna see the ones that catch our eyes and see if they're good or not. And we also have a Mavens Box to the side and some Pokemon stuff, because I went to an OTS store. And actually, does this tell you what's new and what's not? Maybe, actually. No. Grapha, if it says Grapha returns, then it's probably not new. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. This is actually pretty fucking dope. They need to make this into an actual playmat. And it sucks that I can't put everything on the whole thing on camera, but basically, I mean, it looks pretty nice. The use of yellow with the darkness of Dark World is actually pretty fucking neat. But anyway, so let's see. I was gonna say what we can get here, but it's a pre-structured deck. I really don't like doing stuff like this, guys, but Dark World is something I love. I love a lot of the GX archetypes, as I'm struggling here. All right. A lot of these GX archetypes are really fucking cool, and Dark World is no exception. I love them. I love Cyber Dragons. I love Heroes. Obviously, you can tell by this playmat that I've been using for the past like 3 or 4 months. I should probably get a new one. What else? We have fucking Six Samurai. We have Volcanics. We have even Crystal Beast. Although I didn't like the Crystal Beast structured deck, just because I don't like relying on the fusion cards. I like the original Rainbow Dragon. I like the Crystal Beast. I don't necessarily like the direction that they've been having with the fusions, but and this is no exception too. There is a fusion here now, so yeah. Starting off with Rainbow, and if you don't know Dark World cards, the whole theme is that they're based off the names are based off colors. So Rainbow is a rainbow. It has all the colors, or all the important colors. The other colors suck. No brown. Actually, there is a guy named Brow, something of the Dark World, kind of ironically here. But so you can special summon this card from your graveyard by returning 1 level 7 or lower Dark World monster you control to the hand. If this card is discarded to the graveyard. See, it has to be discarded, and it has to be discarded into the graveyard. So anything that banishes, it will basically counter this whole archetype, which is unfortunate. By a card effect, you can add 1 level 5. So if this card was discarded by a card effect, you can add 1 level 5 or higher Dark World monster from your deck to your hand, except this guy. Then if this card was discarded by your hand to the graveyard by an opponent's card effect, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower Dark World monster from your deck or graveyard. That's actually pretty nice. To either field. So it searches, it also extends out into a weaker Dark World monster, either from your deck or graveyard, if your opponent is the one that makes you discard it, which is really nice. That's why I like Dark World cards, because they have 2 effects essentially. One is activates whenever it gets discarded, and then the other one, which is the better effect, it activates when your opponent makes you discard it. And there are ways to make your opponent discard to allow you to discard stuff and have it be treated like your opponent is the one that's making you. So it's kind of neat. It is pretty neat. Dark World Puppeteer. So I think that dog is from like a Lightsworn guy. That's another GX archetype, by the way. So target up to 3 cards and you're in any graveyard. Banish them, then discard 1 fiend monster. That's actually pretty neat. It's a quick play too. Okay. During your main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one of your banished fiend monsters. Add it to your hand. You can only activate 1 Dark World Puppetry, not Puppeteer, per turn. So it is trying to at least try, if your Dark Worlds get banished back in the day, you were out of luck. You shit out of luck. It was banished. The banished zone was very hard to kind of come back from. If a card was banished back in the day, it was banished, it stayed banished. And there were cards that, there were cards that did summon out cards that were banished, but those cards were considered overpowered and banned. And actually, I think some of them are still banned, right? I think so. Escape from the Different Dimension, I think, might still be banned. But now we have the remove from play face down or banished face down or whatever the hell you want to call it. So, that's the stricter remove from play now. This is neat. It helps you remove stuff from your opponent's graveyard, because that's probably what you're going to be doing. If you remove stuff from your graveyard, you're probably going to hurt yourself with Dark Worlds. And then you can retrieve stuff that was removed from play. So I guess you could technically remove something from your graveyard and then get it back the next turn, but that's like high IQ, and you really gotta really think about that. So Dark World Archives, nice. I'm assuming all the higher rarity cards are the newer cards. It is we spoil it. There's the Fusion Boy. So it's a continuous spell. So that's pretty neat. During your main phase, you can discard 1 Dark World monster. And if you do, Dark World monsters you currently control gain attack equal to the level of the discarded... Wait, hang on. Okay, a discarded monster had in the hand times 100 until the end of the turn. That's what I was looking for. I was like, wait, is that permanent? Or is it until the end of the turn or until the end of your opponent's turn? What is it? But it's only temporary, which kind of sucks. If a monster whose original type is Fiend is discarded from your hand by the effect of a Dark World card and an opponent's card effect, even during the damage step, you can discard 1 card, then draw 2 cards. Oh. Okay, you can discard 1 card, then draw 2 cards. Is that a cost? Even during the damage step, you can discard 1 card then. I don't think so. I am pretty stupid though, so correct me if I'm wrong. That doesn't sound like a cost. So here's the other thing with Dark Worlds, guys. If you discard it through a cost, it won't activate. So Graceful Charity, even though it's banned, was really good in these back in the day, because you would draw 3, discard 2, and typically you would just discard your 2 Dark Worlds that then summoned themselves and had, actually the old Dark World stuff just summoned themselves, unless they were discarded by your opponent's card effect. Then they had an extra effect that was really OP, actually. So I'm kind of curious. I think it's a cost. If I'm going to be completely honest, it kind of seems like a cost, but because it has then in it. All right, so Grapha, the dragon, overlord of the Dark World. I mean, he looks badass, but... So the reason I don't like fusion cards... fusion cards are my favorite extra deck monster, like FYI, but the reason I don't like that we got a Dark World fusion is they keep shoehorning in extra deck monsters in archetypes that don't need extra deck monsters. And... I get it, it's a GX fusion, makes sense, but there's literally 1 fusion monster now. And, okay, so we'll read it. Maybe he's easy to summon. I don't know. Grapha, Dragon Lord of the Dark World, which is the old... Yeah, it should be the old poster boy. So this is basically like a redone or a reimagining of an old structured deck that we've had for Dark Worlds. So you have that Grapha, the old one, and then 1 dark monster. So it's somewhat generic, I suppose. When your opponent activates a monster effect or a normal spell trap while you have cards in your hand, quick effect, you can activate this effect. The activated effect becomes your opponent discards one card. And here we go. So that's what I mean. There's ways to make your opponent make you discard cards, and then your Dark World monsters will have the added effects. And this card is one of those. So basically, it's saying if your opponent activates an effect, is a monster, yeah, monster effect, normal spell, or trap, then you can make that effect be your opponent. You will discard a card. So whatever effect, let's say they activate Poly. Now that Poly doesn't fuse, it'll make you discard a card, essentially, which isn't a negate. So if a card says cannot be negated, well, you're not negating it, you are changing the effect. So that's pretty cool. You can activate, yeah, blah, blah, blah. You can only use this effect of this card once per turn if this fusion summon card is in its owner's control, or I hate the way they word these things. If this fusion summon card is currently controlled by the owner or some shit like that, it leaves the field. Because of an opponent's card, you can special summon one 𝗦𝗨𝗣𝗣𝗥𝗧, Lord of the Dark World, which is basically the old one that is banished or in your graveyard. Then each player with a hand discards one card. Each player with a hand. So like, wait, is that discrimination, Konami? Then each player with a hand discards a card. Just say each player discards a card. If they don't have a card, then obviously they can't discard anything. It's not like it's a cost. It's just telling you to discard something. I don't know, Konami. I think people without hands can still discard cards if they have cards in their hand. Or hand, I suppose. So I'm guessing there's going to be a way to fusion summon this, and I think this is it. So Dark World Ascension. During the main phase, fusion summon one fiend fusion monster from the extra deck by banishing materials mentioned in it from your field or graveyard. If fusion summoning a Dark World monster, this way you can also discard monsters as materials. During the main phase of this card is in your graveyard, you can add this card to your hand, then discard one Dark World monster. You can, dude, that is actually really fucking awesome. All right, so basically, right, you were gonna be using this card to fusion summon my boy over here, whatever his name is, 𝗦𝗨𝗣𝗥𝗧 Overlord. And then you will discard the Dark World materials from your hand, essentially special summoning them and getting this guy in here. So you will get 3 monsters essentially on the field if you play this correctly, which is really nice. And then the recycle effect, where you can get it back to your hand, discard a card, then that's basically get this card back in your hand and special summon a Dark World monster, basically. That's number 2. Number 3 is that it's a quick play spell card. This card is fucking awesome, actually. And so, to tell the truth, what I want to do with this deck is play evil heroes with it, because evil heroes are fiend. And there's a lot of fusion evil heroes. But so there's a restriction here. If fusion summoning a Dark World monster, this way you can also discard monsters as material. So basically, if you're not fusion summoning a Dark World monster, you can't discard the materials. So that's that sucks. That truly does suck, because there's only one Dark World fusion monster, unless I'm blanking on one. So that sucks. 𝗦𝗦𝗣𝗥𝗧, I'm assuming, Gateman of the Dark World. So you can only special summon 𝗦𝗦𝗣𝗥𝗧, Gateman of the Dark World, once per turn. You can discard this card to the graveyard, add 1, the Gates of the Dark World. Gates of the Dark World. Interesting. Okay, we haven't seen that yet. The Gates of the Dark World from your deck to your hand. If this card is banished and you control a Dark World card, you can special summon this card. I mean, it's all right. It's a searcher, but it's only all right. Pearl, probably. Hermit of the Dark World. If this card is discarded to your graveyard by a card effect, you can target 1 Dark World monster in your graveyard except Pearl. Special summon it to your field. Then if this card was discarded to your hand by your opponent's card effect, you can special summon to either field one of your fiend monsters that is banished or in your hand graveyard or graveyard. You can only use this effect. I think there's a card in here that basically, if your opponent controls it, a Dark World card, then they can't do certain actions. So that's actually kind of cool. Special summon. Hang on though. With this card, your opponent's card effect. Is it a Dark World monster you can special summon? One of your fiend monsters. So you can special summon any fiend. It doesn't have to be Dark World. That's, I mean, it's generic. That's pretty cool. Dark World Punishment, I think, is the last one here. So we're not going to read everything, guys. This video is already kind of a little long. I didn't want it to be this long. But I am excited for this. In case you haven't, you know, caught on, it's just I'm not very... I'm not a prepared person here. So Dark World Punishment, when monsters would be normal or special summon, you can negate the summon, and if you do destroy that monster or monsters, then discard one fiend monster. So again, it's not cost. So you will be able to activate your monsters effects, your Dark World monsters effects. So if a Dark World monster you control would be destroyed by battle or an opponent's card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. Really good, actually. Really good. Counter trap. Really good. Prevents summoning. And this is Rainbow, the OG. Rainbow, yeah. So this is the new Rainbow on the right, and then the OG Rainbow on the left. So yeah, we're gonna breeze through this now, guys. All right. So all of these cards, man. Latinum. Damn, bro. I am going to be picking this up. Actually, I'm going to be seeing some deck profiles because, again, guys, I'm not the best duelist. So, I mean, if you guys want deck profiles, I will provide, actually, later on. Maybe next year I'll start doing it, but I shouldn't be the go-to for you guys. I am more entertainment than meta. We got some dangers being reprinted, which is actually pretty good. These danger cards, I think, are one of the few cards that are kind of good and people like that aren't actually printed a lot. So I personally don't like them. They are very good in Dark World decks because they will let you discard stuff. I just don't like the design, to be honest. I mean, so I'm personally not gonna use them in a deck. I do want to do that Evil Hero Dark World build. I ain't gonna lie. Absolute King Jack. Okay, Dark World dealing is pretty good. So each player draws a card and then they discard one card. It sucks that your opponent will be benefiting, but at least you will be benefiting as well. Charge into the Dark World. Nice. I think that was a new card from Blazing Vortex, or yeah, Blazing Vortex, I think. Yeah, but there's a Dark World Lightning. I forgot about this card. Target one set card on the field, destroy that card, then discard one card. It's not as good. It used to be pretty good. Now, I mean, if you target a face down card, chances are your opponent's just going to activate it, and I mean, there goes your card, right? So, drag down into the grave. All right, card destruction is obviously very good. The Forces of Darkness, Dark World, Brainwashing. All right. Yeah, and the rest, guys, I really don't want to take too long. The only really good staple reprint in here is probably Skill Drain. And then we got Grapha in here. Cool. Master Duel. All this stuff. All right, wow. I took way too fucking long, guys. But we're still going to be opening up that mini box here. All right, so let's start off with the Pokemon packs, actually, because I'm kind of curious what we're going to get. I mean, hey, we're chilling, guys. It's Saturday. We chilling. Probably just gonna play some Call of Duties, you know. Let me know what you guys are doing this weekend. We got Fletchling, cool. Dratini, oh, I didn't know he was in here. So I think this is the new set, guys. Silver Tempest, and we got a Wailmer as a reverse holo, and then code card if you guys are interested. I just got these from the OTS store. It's not an OTS store. It's like a mom and pop shop. And I was like, you know, whatever, 3 packs is something I can do, right? And it'll be a fast opening on the channel. Maybe you guys will enjoy it. If not, well, then you can speed through or you skip through this. I'm all right with that. And then nothing here. And a code card. Wait, hang on. Sword and Shield. Yeah, all right. I was going to say, I think this is the last Sword and Shield set. So we'll see what we have, what they have in the pipeline for the next gen games. I don't think we're gonna get anything though, guys. Oh, well, we definitely got something. A Malamar. I mean, I have no idea who that is, but Malamar. Okay. And Miss Magius, something like that. Lance with no pants. And there you go, guys. All right, so last but not fucking least, bro. We got Magnificent Mavens. All right, what can we do here? We obviously need or want. Actually, at this point, it's kind of need. I need it, guys. I need a Pharaoh rare because, I mean, I did pull 2 already, but they are so nice. So nice. Sky Striker sleeves. Is that good luck? I have no idea. All right, let's do it, guys. Let's see what we can do. We got the Iris Sword Soul Witchcrafter Confusion Confession. Okay. Sword Soul Strife. Sword Soul of Tai and 𝗦𝗪𝗣𝗣𝗢𝗥𝗧. The goat. Weird reprint. I will stay. I will die in that hill. 𝗦𝗪𝗣𝗣𝗥𝗧 should not have been reprinted. Blue Eyes Abyss Dragon, which is holy shit, very, very, very damaged. Let's get that on camera. What the hell is that? You gotta pay the Konami employees, Konami, bro. They're biting, they're eating the cards. Medora, the Stored Oracle, Protoplant, G-Spot Golem, and Long Juan, something Long Juan. A very fitting name because his name is also very fucking long. All right, third pack, guys. 𝗦𝗨𝗣𝗣𝗣𝗥𝗧. Hell yeah, I would not sleep on this, guys. It's probably poised to be a very, very very good pickup, essentially. Barururu, Adagnister, Cat Shark, Dark Soul token. Hell yeah. All right, last pack, guys. Let's see. Let's do it. All right, Lightning Storm. Whoa, look at that. Fucking awesome. I prefer the Prismatic Secret myself, but yeah, Sky Striker, Mobilize, Linkage, Light Imprisoning Mirror, and a Nightmare Cerberus. That was like, wait, is it? And it's not. Oh, that's actually kind of cool. Nightmare Phoenix and Nightmare Cerberus. I do like that. The colors of Cerberus, or not Cerberus, of Phoenix. I ain't gonna lie. But that's the video, guys. I got way longer than I thought. But hey, dude, we're chilling. It's Saturday. We got a Malamar as well. I think he's like a poison type, isn't he? No, he's psychic. Okay. And the Dark World structure deck is actually worth picking up, guys. I did skip out on the Crystal Beast structure deck. There are decks that top it. Not my playstyle, though, honestly. I don't like negating, you know, setting up a board of negates. What I like is having big boss monsters and swinging over shit with my big dick, you know? So Dark World is definitely something I want to experiment with. Hopefully it comes out in Master Duel sooner than later, essentially, because it's just Master Duel is just faster for me to do and to test with. But that's the video, guys. Make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.